Hi everyone, welcome to another Bass Singer first time reaction and analysis. For those who don't know me, my name is Peter Barber. I am primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, and bass vocalist. And over the last year, I have gotten into do reaction and analysis videos where I do a normal reaction, as you know, but I also provide a lot of insight into the musical aspects, so vocal technique, arrangement, instrumentation, whatever I feel like commenting on, basically. And these videos usually last anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. There's a lot of pausing, so if you want to just watch the video straight through, I've included a link to this video in the description. Feel free to head over, watch it, and then come on back if you want to learn about what's going on musically. Guys, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please comment to help the algorithm. And if you're really enjoying what I'm doing, if you're gaining value, if I'm enhancing your listening experience, your musical experience, consider donating to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. The link to that is in the description as well. This is only my second Adına Ankudinova video. The first one was Can't Help Falling in Love. Really amazing, super cool, dark, warm timbre of vocal color to her sound. And this has been another one that has been requested that I do since I did the last one months and months ago. So I'm really excited to see what she does during Wicked Game. I think the original upload was blocked, so this is someone else who has re-uploaded it. We'll see what kind of copyright stuff I have to deal with. It might turn out that the screen record is blurred or there's text over it. I'll do what I can to get it up so you guys can watch. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Adına does in this song. Okay, so this is a very interesting start already. We have purely acoustic instruments providing the sort of foundation for her to sing upon. And then when she comes in, she's not even phonating. Phonating is when your vocal folds actually come together to produce pitch. She's doing more of a whisper. So a whisper is when you are speaking without phonating, because your vocal folds aren't actually coming together. The reason you can still understand what we're saying is because of how the vocal tract is positioned, the shape of the vocal tract, and what the tongue is doing and what their lips are doing. These actually have the most effect on speech sounds or phonemes, and that's how sound becomes intelligible. At the level of the vocal folds, it's just a buzz, and then the vocal tract changes that buzz into what we know and understand as language. So here, she's just adopting a little bit of whisper-like singing, vocal folds barely coming together, only towards the end of that first phrase. And let's see what pitch she gets down to, because she has a notoriously low voice. So we're in E flat minor, I think, in this piece. Down to an F3. That's an F2. 3.
But you. It's strange what is will make foolish people do.
It's interesting. She is really going out of this phonating versus non-phonating speech. So when you hear pitch, that's how you know her vocal folds are actually coming together and oscillating. And when you don't, when you hear the more whisper, breathy, super breathy like quality, that means her vocal folds are not coming together. And it really is an on or off kind of thing. There's no in between. It's not like one vocal fold is vibrating, unless you have like a paralyzed vocal fold. Won't get into all that. For the most part, pretty much your vocal folds are coming together and they're oscillating, or they're not. And this is an interesting example of her going back and forth. Just pay attention to that in this second phrase here.
But you. It's strange what is will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I need somebody like you.
She's not even opening it up yet, and it's just crazy even when she's not even singing with her powerful belting, you can still tell how dark her timbre is. And I checked out her tongue on the last video. The tongue has a lot to do with the darkness of a sound. If you're pulling your tongue way back, it blocks part of the sound and makes it darker. Lowering the larynx is another way to make the sound darker. That's what we do in opera. We have a lowered larynx, and it creates more space in your pharynx. Lower the larynx, space in the pharynx. And it sounds like she just naturally has a ton of pharyngeal space, which is going to create that warmer, darker sound. A little physiology of what's going on in there. And you can hear it as soon as she starts phonating anywhere where she's making a decent amount of sound. You hear that dark timbre. And it's pretty striking even before she really opens it up. Like for the last video I did, Can't Help Falling in Love, I remember I was thinking like, okay, she's got a really cool voice. You know, you can tell she's got some power behind it. But then when she went into that really heavy belting in the last verse, it was like shocking to me. Like my jaw was just on the floor. So I'm hoping we get some of that in this piece as well.
I never dreamed that I need somebody like you. I never dreamed that I need somebody like you.
It's like right there, you hear that little moment there. I did an octave lower. I mean, it's like her timbre's probably as dark as mine or close, and I'm an operatic bass, which is like operatic bass baritone, which is like, as far as timbres go, it's a very dark sound. You can hear it in my voice as well. And she has that. It's like an octave higher, but I don't know, maybe we have like a similar vocal track set up to where her pharynx has as much space as mine, or even more, probably, honestly. I just love this, first of all. This is a really cool song. Now they've got a little bit more percussion. Originally it was just the acoustic instrumentation. Now they have a little bit of percussion coming in. They're just slowly winding up. I have a feeling we've got a long way to go in terms of how intense this song gets and how much it revs up. Another thing about Diana is she has a really excellent head voice up into her upper extension there. So it's not like she only has these great thick, dark low notes. I think she got up to maybe like an A5 in Can't Help Falling in Love. That one, like almost a soprano high C, which for someone who would like, you know, if you had to label her voice, you'd probably call her a contralto, just based on the timbre and the depth of her sound. For a contralto to have high notes like that is also remarkable, to say the least.
Class.
What we did game to play to make me feel this way. What we
F sharp 3. It's not, I mean, it is low for a woman, but not as low as women can sing. Not like totally bottoming out. Like I definitely know plenty of mezzos or contraltos in the opera world that can sing all the way down to the C or B below that, significantly lower. But the color of the voice is it's so unique. It's so crazy dark and warm. It really is like nothing I've heard in a female singer before. Seriously.
what we did game
I mean, it sounds like if you just take a voice, anyone who's worked in digital audio workstations like Logic Pro or Ableton or name your station, if you take a pitch and you just pitch it down without accounting for the change in formants, which is another element of what creates timbre, then it'll sound fake and it'll sound like it's been modulated down. You hear it in pop music all the time. So if you take the voice and then just like shift it down, it sounds like this, and it's very dark and almost like muffled sounding, like I'm doing now. It sounds like her voice does that, except I think that's just, I don't think she's forcing it to happen like I just was. I think it's just her natural color. Maybe she's giving it like a little bit of extra flavor for showmanship reasons, but there's no denying that she has a truly one of the darkest voices I've ever heard. Because you can hear it there too in her upper range. It just becomes obvious in the lower range.
What we did game to play to make me feel this way.
Does that sound similar? Like if I sing in her octave and just really darken my voice a lot? Make me feel this way. It's kind of like that. I mean, like crazy.
Feel this way. What we getting to do to let me dream of you. What we getting to say. You never felt this way.
See, even up there, it's still very, very dark. I also love, I don't know if any of you are opera lovers out there, but there's a famous production of The Magic Flute with Diana Damrau singing Queen of the Night. Quite literally the total opposite voice type from Diana Ankudinova. But the setting here, the costuming and the lighting and the background with like, it's kind of dark, dark star, dark sky, like that. It's a very, you guys should go check out that video. I'll put a link to it in the description because the costuming and the whole vibe is very similar in a way to that production of The Magic Flute.
You never felt this way. What we getting to do to make me dream of you. I don't wanna fall in love.
Nice little riffs. I like those little 3-note riffs she was doing there.
Dream of you. I don't wanna fall in love.
Tasteful riffing. I call it tasteful riffing. She's not going all over the place with it. She's just adding her own little flair to this melody.
I don't wanna fall in love.
There it is. Is that button the same pitch as the tone center of this key? No. Octafier. I think down to an E flat there. Yep. There we go. B flat 4. Oh. A flat 4. So I've talked about this before. She's obviously, well, maybe she hasn't had training. Maybe she's just a very naturally gifted singer. Totally possible. Usually for an untrained, unstrengthened female voice, they have to flip into their head voice about at a B flat 4. The one that she just belted like with no problem. Usually that's about where the voice really feels like it has to shift unless you know how to essentially pull your chest voice higher. And what this requires is strong enough vocal folds to where you can stretch them and keep the whole vocal fold apparatus vibrating. Because what happens when you flip into your head voice is it shifts from the whole, thyroarytenoid and mucosal membrane that makes up the whole vocal folds vibrating to just the mucosal membrane, maybe a little bit more if you've got a really powerful head voice, right? But so essentially what you need is to be able to strengthen your vocal folds enough to where you can stretch the whole musculature up to maintain chest voice as you ascend higher and higher. And usually that flip up to head voice happens around a B flat 4 for an untrained singer. Unless it gets really, really yelly, and uncontrolled, unsustainable. But hers is very controlled and very sustainable. And for a voice type like hers, that's high. With someone with a low voice and a dark timbre, A flat 4, B flat 4 for a female singer, that's high in chest voice. Straight up. And she's doing it real well. I wonder if those riffs at the end of that were her experimenting in the moment or if every note was planned. It's hard to say. Sometimes in genres like this, in genres like pop, pretty much genres outside of the classical world, you can make up riffs on the spot if you're just feeling it. And it can work out really nicely if you're good at riffing and you have musicianship and you're intuitive in that way. But it's also smart, especially in a big high-pressure performance like this, to have every note really planned and have run it a million times so that even if you are super nervous or you get lost in the moment, your muscle memory just takes over and you sing it as you plan to. She looks really young here. She's like 15 or 16. And then she finishes it with the non-phonating, just the whisper, kind of how she started it. She really has an amazing voice, y'all. All right, Diana Ankudinova. Wicked Game. We'll see what happens with copyright and everything, but that was my first time viewing and my extensive but not exhaustive breakdown of what's happening musically, what's happening with her vocal technique, what's happening timbrally, a little bit about voice science and vocology. I did say the word thyroarytenoid, the muscle part of the vocal fold. It's fun to throw some of that in there. A lot of you guys really appreciate it, even if it's, way outside your wheelhouse. You guys are still like, oh, that's cool to know, kind of, what's happening in there. A look under the hood, as they say. But anyway, this is really cool. I think the shock factor would have been bigger if I hadn't heard her, reveal this really dark timbre in Can't Help Falling in Love. But nonetheless, very cool. I think she has such a unique voice. She's a strong singer, huge range, can riff, can flip up into head voice, can belt really high without me getting nervous about it, which is a really good sign that the singer's in control. That's it, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, help the algorithm. And if you really enjoyed this, if you gained musical insight, if I helped you appreciate and enjoy this music more, that's worth at least $1 a month, right, guys? Head over to the Patreon, check out all the amazing benefits that I do offer the Patreons and my Patreon family. Now, 220 people in there and on my private Discord server interacting every day. It's a great little community that has been built over there over the last year and a half or so. And guys, that's it. It's a really short video, so 3 or 4 minute video usually comes out to 25, 30 minutes. There was really probably less than 3 minutes. There's probably less than 3 minutes of singing here to break down. So that's that, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you for the next one. Bye-bye.